Hey, it's your Las Vegas poker coach. On this podcast, we take a professional mindset to talk about poker and make some money at the game we all love. I invite you to listen in as we talk strategy, casinos, and life in general. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everybody, it's Las Vegas poker coach. Happy to be back with you again. So today we're going to talk about something that's kind of obvious in my poker podcast timeline, and that's that there is a 6-year break in my posting and podcasting. So I thought I'd take the time to write about that and explain the 6-year break, and hopefully it'll kind of bring you guys up to speed on what I've been up to. So I stopped playing professionally and this podcast back in 2017, the end of 2017. And you got to realize that the end of 2017 was a really uncertain time in Las Vegas. You know, the 1 October shootings had just happened, which was a terrible event for Las Vegas. I'll never forget that morning. So there was a lot of uncertainty in Las Vegas about, you know, what was going to happen, what the future looked like, you know, what the south end of the strip would look like. I was playing a lot at the MGM, so that whole little area of Vegas was kind of important to me. And around the same time, I was also offered a position with an amazing company. I have been a lucky guy that I've been able to follow two passions in my life. One of them is poker. The other one is my day job. I am still with that company to this day. And that job has enabled me to do a lot of really cool things. It's been just a great life experience. I've been able to travel around the world. I've been able to meet a lot of people. I've been able to break some hearts and have my heart broken and just kind of enjoy life and enjoy the world. So still with that company, still following my passions. But I thought I'd start up again because I just thought, poker is something that's in your blood, if you really like it. So in 2018, I moved to a state that had limited options for poker, and believe it or not, that state was Texas. Texas was nowhere near as popular with poker as it is right now in late 2023. In fact, I had tracked a couple of the Dallas poker rooms that tried in that time. I'm talking like early 2018 here. Dallas was extremely active about shutting down these poker rooms. And then on top of that, there had recently been that shooting in Houston, I believe. I believe the kid's name was 3Bet Panda. He was shot outside of a Houston poker room, and the rooms were nowhere near as advanced as they are now in terms of security and lighting and things like that. So I just never really viewed them as a safe option. So even though I was in Texas in 2018, I really didn't play any poker. I went to Choctaw and I went to WinStar a couple times, and those are nice places. They try their best, but I just never really found a home there. The rooms just weren't really my thing. But it also made me realize how much you can take it for granted when you have so many close games to you in the Vegas area. Las Vegas, there's so many good games. So that was 2018, that was 2019, and then the pandemic happened. And for the pandemic, I took that fairly seriously. I really didn't do much of anything. I played a little bit online. I fooled around a little bit with some streaming online and just kind of keep myself a little bit in the game. But playing online has never really been my thing. I like being a live player. I like the personal interaction, meeting new people, talking with people. That's where the fun of poker is for me. So that kind of takes me through most of 2020, 21, even 2022. Even when the casinos reopened in Vegas, I didn't necessarily go back right away because, again, I was still a little bit cautious about COVID and how all that was going to play out. But, like I said, poker is kind of something that's hard to put away. You can't just quit it cold turkey. It's a passion of mine. So I want to get back to it. I want to, keep on sharing my poker journey with you. And most importantly, I want to keep on playing poker at a high level. So fast forward a couple years. It's 2023. I am no longer either in Las Vegas or Texas. I'm actually in the greater New York City area now. But I still miss the game. I miss being friends with dealers and floor staff. I miss meeting people. And you also don't know what the U.S. economy is going to do in the future. Maybe I want to be self-employed again in the future. Who knows? Maybe it's time for me to look ahead to retirement. The current job that I have now has made it possible for me to think about some sort of early retirement at some point in my life. And on top of that, football season is always a great time to play poker in any poker room in America. I think I've spoken more about that on some of these podcasts, but for me, football season, playing against those guys who are doing their sports bet, that's just, the games couldn't be better. That sets up so nicely for me. So combining all of those, and then the fact that the New York City area does have a couple of poker rooms within reasonable distance. There's Atlantic City, there's some in Pennsylvania, there's the Connecticut rooms, places like that. I started exploring again, and I started playing live again. So I've gone ahead and reignited my passion for it. I'm playing on a weekly basis. I'm keeping my records. I'm still bringing a professional mindset, even though I'm still just an advanced amateur and I have other ways of, making money. I still keep a dedicated bankroll that I, don't spend out of. It's just for this. So I'm still keeping my professional outlook on this because who knows? You never know when self-employment might hit again, and I may start playing full-time again. Okay, so where am I going with this? The plan is to play as often as I can and still maintain a full-time job. So I'm not going to do anything that jeopardizes my current job, which means I'm just basically playing on the weekends and that's it. Having a job allows me to also play from a replenishable bankroll. So that's a bankroll approach where you can consider taking a little bit of bigger risks or moving up a little quicker, because if the worst should happen, you're not going to be out on the street. You're going to be able to replenish the bankroll over time. I still keep records. I still make sure that I'm beating the game because I want to make sure I'm not a long-term loser. But I am going to be a little bit more aggressive than I would be as a full-time professional. When you're playing full-time, you're playing for longevity. Because you don't want to play full-time for the next 2 days, you want to play full-time for the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case may be. So mentally is a little bit of a different approach. So I'm going to be playing from a replenishable bankroll, which means that I'm going to be moving up and being a little bit more aggressive in the stakes I play. Much more so than I would be otherwise. I've seeded my bankroll with a couple $1,000s. If that goes bust, I can reseed my bankroll again. That's okay. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm still trying to maintain it as a fixed bankroll that I'm growing over time, that I'm investing over time, and I'm taking it step by step. So the way I'm doing that is I'm going back to my roots. I'm going to ease back into playing, and I'm going to sit myself down at 1-3. You have to put your ego aside. You have to put aside your concepts of money of, oh, this is not a lot of money. I'm only winning a little bit each session. You got to put that aside and get back to playing good, solid poker. From there, I'm going to move up to 2.5, and then the goal is to be able to play 5.10 on a consistent basis. I want to have both the bankroll and the skills, and quite frankly the guts, to be able to play 5.10 on a consistent basis. And I would define that as being able to just buy into 5.10 anytime that I want. Right now, I've been successful at moving from 1.3 to 2.5, and now 2.5 is the only game I'll consider. I don't even consider playing 1.3 anymore. I want to get that same mindset for 5.10. Or in some cases, in some casinos on the East Coast, they play 10.10, so it might have to be 10.10. But that's the goal, to be able to get to a place where I can sit down at 5.10, 10.10 games consistently and be comfortable there and be able to hold my own. Obviously, it'd be nice if I was profitable at those stakes, but I know that takes time. I think I still see enough holes in my game where I'm not quite ready for that. But I do want to get to the point where I can at least hold my own in those 5.10 and 10.10 games. Okay, so that's where I've been. What do you guys think? Where do you guys think poker is headed in the future? Maybe it's a mistake to become a professional again. Who knows? Everybody seems to say that poker's dying. But I want to hear from you guys. I know some of you have listened to some of my older podcasts, which is great. But I'm back. I'm going to be posting more to this podcast, and I want to thank you for listening. Hey, let's keep the conversation going. You can reach me on all socials at LV Poker Coach, all one word, on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.